Hi there, Lloyd Machedo speaking to you from lloydmachedo.com. Who is Lloyd Machedo and Think Personal Branding? And I've also created this new website that is Ask Lloyd Machedo. That is for free questions, free question answers that you can ask me. Sorry if you need questions. Okay, now I have been in Dubai for 40 years, and because I was there for so many years, I know the system in and out. And given the fact that I started my career from zero, from absolute scratch, with no education at all, I was a school dropout. I managed to climb up the ranks. I made money. I worked in the uh, employment industry. I worked as a self-employed, had a business, failed. I've done so many things, dealt with locals. So I, I now am in a better position to advise and guide people to make smart decisions. Now, what I've done is I've prepared a list of 17 points which you should be really careful about before you sign the dotted line. Now, these are the kind of red flags or things that you should be really afraid, because what happens is if you do not understand what you're getting yourself into and you sign the dotted line, you have a legal obligation to stick to the company for the duration of the time. It's not like, let's say you're an Indian. In India, if you don't like the job, you can just resign and walk off. Let's say you're an American or you're from the UK, you don't like the company, you can say, sorry, mate, it's not working out, bye bye. But here in the Middle East, especially I'm talking about Dubai or Saudi or Qatar, Bahrain, Oman, you can't just tell the employer, it's not working out. I'm sorry. The guy is going to reveal the bits that were written in fine print. And he will take you to court. He will squeeze the daylights out of you. Maybe he'll not pay your salary. Maybe he'll not give you a gratuity. Maybe he will, put a case on you and drag it for months and months. So these are the 17 points that I'm going to share with you before you sign the dotted line, so that you are aware and you do not fall into trouble. Because remember this, you're leaving your country and you're coming to a new country to start a new life. So that is why I'm just giving this video as a public service announcement so that you can make the smartest choice. So let's quickly move on. Here is point number one. You have gone for an interview, you've gone for the first interview, second interview, third interview, and finally it's like, everything is going fast in a hurry. And the HR guy tells you, we have to fill this position as quickly as possible. So you're very excited. You go through all the interviews, you complete all the exams, you submit all the certificates, you get everything attested. And then after that, there's no news from them for hours and hours, for days and days, and it goes on for weeks. And then eventually you begin to think, well, what's going on? So you call them up and you ask them, where is my letter of offer? You said you're going to offer me something. When do we start? And then they give you this statement, we'll get back to you shortly. Now, when someone tells you, we'll get back to you shortly, that is a big red flag. Okay. What it means is, we'll get back to you shortly means we are searching for another candidate at the same time, or we are looking into 3-4 candidates at the same time, and we have given all the candidates the same answer. It's like a girl telling a guy, I love you, in one text, and sending I love you to 10 different guys, or a guy sending a girl, you're my one and only and I will marry you only, and he's sending it to 10 different girls. So he's playing around with all these people. So in the same way, when the employer tells you, we'll get back to you shortly, it gives you something vague, that means he's playing around with you. So I suggest you just look out for another job. Remember, if someone wants you, he'll give you the job immediately. They don't wait, because to get the right talent is very hard. Okay, so that's the first point. The second one is, now this one is rather tricky and it's very dirty, whereby they take you on board, they give you the job. You have, let's say, a 2 months visa or a 3 months visit visa or tourist visa, whatever. Okay, and they make you start working, and then as you're working, your visa is getting expired, and they just keep telling you, yeah, it'll happen after 3 days, it'll happen after 7 days, it'll happen after 9 days, it'll happen after 10 days, and it keeps going on, and eventually you come to the point where there's only 1 or 2 days left for your visit visa to expire. Now, here they can play the game two ways. One is they can tell you, go back to your country and we'll send you a visa. That's one thing. Or they can tell you, we saw your performance. We saw your performance. We're not very happy with it. And even though we agreed on $5,000, the management has thought about it, and you have two offers. Either we can give you, instead of $5,000, $3,000, take it or leave it. You know. So what they've basically done is they've waited for your visa to expire. So now you are, in the red, and you have to either do or die, go back to your country, and then have the headache of taking another visit visa, coming once again, and looking out for a job. So they have basically just played around with you. So what do you do in this regard? Remember this. Point number one is where they tell you, go back to your country, we'll send you the visa. In some cases, especially if it's a multinational giant, especially if it's a multinational or it's a government company, if they tell you, go back to your country, we'll send you the visa, they will do that. But if it's a privately held company, he doesn't have any legal obligation to stick to his word. So he can tell you, go back to your country, and he might never send you the visa, never. Or he'll tell you, go back to your country, I'll send you the visa. And when he sends you the visa, maybe he'll renegotiate the contract. He'll tell you, you asked for $5,000, you either take $3,000, take it or leave it. Most important is, do not leave the country. Do not leave the country until he pays you your income. Don't fall for the bullshit that he tells you, I'll send you your salary once you go back home. No, they never do that. Never ever do that. Now, here's something you do not think about. If you work for a guy, when you're on a visit visa or a tourist visa, you're actually doing something illegal. So you cannot take the guy to court. You cannot claim that, I work for this guy, when I was on my tourist visa or when I was on my visit visa. You'll end up getting in trouble because legally you're not allowed to do that. And secondly, he'll tell you, where is the proof? Where is the evidence? Show me an email. Show me a letter of offer that I gave him. If you cannot produce anything in writing, you are finished. Okay. So if you go to the ministry or you go to the court and you claim, the legal department claim, I work for this guy during, my tourist visa or visit visa, they'll say, oh, you committed something illegal, you're in problem. Also keep this in mind that they might have contacts and connections. So you actually are playing a losing game. So don't fall for this. All right. Point number three. Okay. Point number three is the boss is out of town. Now, this is a classic that they use. The boss is not in town. The boss is out of town. Or, boss is gone for this business trip, or boss is on vacation, or they will just try to buy time. Don't fall for that. Remember, if they really want you, they'll just give you the contract up front. They are not going to tell you, boss is out of town or this is out of town. It's very simple. Every day they have expenses. Every day there is work. Whether the boss is in town or out of town, if they don't pay the electricity bill, internet bill, or they don't take care of day-to-day expenses, they will face repercussions. So you don't think the employee, when he goes out of town, he has already told the instruction, given them instructions what to do next. They are simply playing around with you. So when they give you the trump card, boss is not in town, or he's on a business trip, or he'll be back after some time, that's total crap. Okay. Point number four. If you asked for a salary of, let's say, $5,000, I'm just giving the baseline, $5,000, and they tell you, okay, let's agree on $4,000. You start your probation because obviously you're learning. After 3 months, after studying your probation, we will give you not $5,000, we'll make it $7,000, plus you will be raised to this very senior position. Okay, not just manager, you'll be regional head. So you begin to think, oh, wow, I wanted $5,000. Now he's offering me $7,000 if I prove myself. And he's not only going to give me a manager's position, he's going to give me regional managers. So wow, this is a very big thing. Here's the deal for you. I have never met a single candidate. I have not spoken to a single managing director or person who once after they sign the contract, they increase your salary. Never has happened, will not happen. 99.9999999% whatever you signed, if you signed the dotted line for 3,500, that's what you'll get for the rest of your duration. That means if you sign for 3 years, 3 years you're going to get it. 2 years, 2 years you're going to get it. Don't fall for the bullshit. After 3 months or 6 months probation, or after studying your performance, here's what they don't tell you. When the 3 months or 6 months finishes, they'll start this new game. Okay, we are waiting for the balance sheet to be finalized. We're waiting for the accounts to be tallied. We're waiting for the money to come in. We're waiting for this deal to confirm. We're waiting for the boss to come back from vacation. So in every example, they'll say 3 months. So every time you go to him, the boss is not in town. Try next month. You go next month, they'll say, okay, we're waiting for this deal to get confirmed. Try next month. After that, oh, we're waiting for the balance sheet. Oh, it's year end. So every month, it keeps going on. until, a whole 2 years or 3 years are passed by. So remember this, the promises for the future is only promises, they are never kept. They can even write on the contract that we will increase your salary after proper evaluation. Remember, after evaluation means it's their evaluation. Maybe they'll tell you, sorry, we're not happy with your performance. What do you do then? And here's another game that they play which you never think about. Remember this, if you join verbally, they might tell you, let's say, wow, that's superb. They'll keep patting you on your back and they'll keep telling you great things. But if you don't perform, they'll send you an email. Now that email is in writing. That written document has much more substantial value in the legal court of law than the verbal praises. So don't fall for the verbal praises. What they send you in writing as an email, we are not happy with your performance. That can be used against you when things go legal. Also, another thing, please don't fall for this bullshit. This is an added point which I just remembered. When they give you this certificate of appreciation, this printout put in a frame, that's only the printout is 1 dirham, the frame is 5 dirhams. They'll give you this certificate of appreciation in front of everyone, and everyone will, wow, fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. That means nothing. That is nothing. My stepfather worked for a company 25, 30 years, Imitac, okay, which was dealing with Hewlett Packard. He got all these papers that he used to keep in our 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25 years, certificate of appreciation stamped and signed by the MD. Nothing. You have to throw it out because he never got any job. You can't show it to anyone. Nobody cares a damn about it. You can print it out yourself. And they give you a pen. They give you this clock, or they give you a small watch. What do you do with it? Don't fall for this bullshit. If they want to give you appreciation, tell them money, give me a salary increment per month. Even if it's 500 dirhams, it's 500 dirhams every month. Don't fall for these certificates and this watch and this applause and this party and team building, etc. That's all crap, utter crap. Okay, next one is number 5, the probationary period. Now this one is a gray area. Okay, it's a gray area. Everyone can give you assurances. Nobody can actually, remember this, the employer always has the upper hand. So when he mentions a probationary period, he can tell you bye-bye at any point of time. Okay, he can tell you bye-bye. And in some worst of cases, if he's not happy with you, he doesn't even have to pay you your salary. Be careful, huh? Know the clauses there. He doesn't have to pay your salary. He can even put a clause there that he's not happy, he doesn't have to pay you the salary. Even though they don't mention it explicitly, they know how to play around with this. One is, your visa gets expired, you have to leave the country. You can't, go to the court with an expired visa. You will be in trouble. So one is, he can put, he doesn't have to pay your salary. And if you resign during the probationary period, maybe he'll make you pay for the visa expenses, the other expenses. I'm telling you this, nobody talks about this, but this happens left, right, and center. I know cases where the guy was promised a job as a manager. He resigned from his company, really good company in India. He brought his wife, he brought his kids, everything here. And within a week, this guy tells him, no, sorry, get lost. It's not working out. I mean, he has to uproot his life. He has to take his wife back. She resigned from her job. The child left the school, got a TC. He was in a limbo. So please be careful. Remember, the probationary period is a very dicey part of the equation. Read in between the lines and get yourself a legal representative or get someone who's an expert to read in between the lines. Okay, coming to the next one. Point number 6. Now, when I say read in between the lines, remember this, English document versus Arabic document. The Arabic document will hold good in the court of law. Second one, people can say many things. Dubai rules are different, Sharjah rules are different, Al Quwain rules are different, Ras Al Khaimah rules are different. I challenge you, every bloody court is different. You don't believe me, just Google Ras Al Khaimah. If you're caught, committing adultery or something, you can get jailed. Even if you're raped, you will get jailed. Don't believe me, just Google and search. Okay? Whatever I say, Google and search. Nobody talks about this because anyone in Dubai, if he talks about it, he will be put in jail. He'll be banned. His social media will be completely, shut down. In fact, just check this out. If you take a video without permission, you can be fined 500,000, 100,000 to 500,000. Don't believe me, just Google, just search this. Okay. So a lot of stuff that goes on that people don't talk about. And that is where this rule, this is a funny rule. What they write in Arabic, what they write in Arabic has much more value than what they write in English. What they write on the labor contract has much more, is valid in the court of law, not what they write on the letterhead. Letterhead, they can write anything. Email, they can write anything. It doesn't mean jack shit. What they've written on the labor contract, what you've signed there, which you cannot read or you can't understand, is what will hold in the court of law. So be careful of that. Point number 7, giving your dummy designations. I meet so many people who tell me, Loy, my clients, the people who pay me, Loy, I've been offered a designation from manager to regional manager. Now I'll be dealing with so many responsibilities, so many challenges, so much freedom. My office is bigger. I've been given a bigger car, and that's nothing. That's total garbage. What really matters is how much salary they're increasing, the money. The office, it can be big, it can be super big. It's anyway lying there. They just have to give you a check. Anytime they'll throw you out. I was given as a director, big designation, director, iMac and state-of-the-art computer software. I was given 2 servants, big house, big villa, big car, Range Rover, all that stuff. When the guy didn't want me, he just threw me out of the house, threw me out of the company accommodation onto the streets. Range Rover, the keys were taken. He bought 20 guys when he came to face me. I mean, what the fuck do you do? So please keep in mind, cash in hand is everything. Nothing else matters. So next one, the typical statement. Boss is not in town. Signatory is not in town. See, you need to figure out whose signature is where. Okay. So that person who you're dealing with, whose signature is there, is the signing authority, is the decision maker. So when they say boss is not in town, who exactly is that? Is it your immediate manager? Is it the guy who signed on the contract? Is it the owner of the company? So please, this boss is not in town is a phrase that they use. You need to be careful of that. Point number 9 is, giving you something that's too good to be true. Sometimes you have this, I get these guys who didn't get a job for 3 months, 6 months, or he's working as a sales executive in India or Pakistan or Bangladesh or Sri Lanka, or even, let's say, in his home country, whichever that is. And now when he comes to the new place, Dubai or Saudi or Bahrain, he's told you'll be given general manager, director, or you'll be in charge of the entire region. You're like, wow. You go to your wife and you tell her, I've been given in charge of the entire region. I'm a big man now. You are digging your grave. When they tell you something larger than life or something is too good to be true, it seldom is. When he tells you that you're going to be in charge of the entire region, what he doesn't tell you what it means. It means is you are responsible for the revenue that we should generate from this entire region. And if we do not generate that revenue, means you did not do your job. And that is where maybe I don't have to pay you a salary, or maybe I can take you to task. Remember, it's not how hard you work, it's the results you obtain. Now, let's say, for example, you got new customers, you got these new projects, you set up the systems in place, you bought the new employees, you bought the teams, you set up everything. Then the guy will tell you, but where is the money? So then you have to wait until the project finishes and you have to get the checks. Once you get the checks, or let's say you got the checks, project is finished, he'll tell you, you have to wait until the project is handed over. After the project is handed over, provided there is no, a dispute there, then say, wait until we get the cash in the bank. So now project got over, which took 1 year. The checks that they gave you, maybe it'll encash after another 3 months. Now you wait for 3 months. Then the guy who's supposed to pay you the money, the company says, sorry, we are lack of funds, wait for another 3 months, and then wait for another 3 months, wait for another 3 months. It can go on for 2 years, it can go on for 5 years. I'm not exaggerating, because no employer wants to take another company to court, because if you take it to court, then it goes on forever, and both the companies will end up losing money because lawyer and court case and everything else. So please, when they give you these big fancy designations, you're taking care of the entire region, means you do all the work, set up my systems, help me make profit, help me make revenue, so that afterwards I can throw you out and get someone else to do the exact same job that you're doing. Don't fall for that. Next one is dummy benefits. You remember the example that I gave you, the big car, the big office, all that biggie stuff? Remember, the house is company property. The car is company property. The designation means nothing. These frills, servants and people under you and authority. It doesn't matter, my dear friend. You can be managing director, you can be global, head. Without having the money, you're nothing. Make sure it's only money. Don't go for these dummy benefits. Even if car, okay, if you didn't have a car and he gives you a car, fine, but that car belongs to him. It's better than that. You take the money and get yourself a second-hand car. Let him pay for the petrol and all the other expenses. This nobody tells you, but this is what it is. Point number 11. Remember this one. There's a big difference between company letterhead versus the one you're working for versus the labor contract. Please educate yourself on the differences between these three. I worked for companies where they play around with this. Okay, they can write $10,000 on the company letterhead. They can write $2,000 or even $1 plus commission on your labor contract. If tomorrow they take you to court, that labor contract will work. Point number 12, which you need to be very careful, is group of companies. Now, this one is a trend and a loophole, massive loophole that nobody has a solution for. One of the fake companies that I work for, this guy, he does all this illegal business in UAE. He still does it. Okay, still does it. I worked for him and realized I was in deep shit. He has a company in the free zone. He has a company in the free zone, licensed. He has a company in various free zones, Ras Al Khaimah, Dubai, Sharjah, all the free zones. He has all the free zones as a group of companies. Then he has an office that is open in Ajman. He has one in Ras Al Khaimah. He has another in Dubai. Then he has one in Media City, Media City. Then he has one in Abu Dhabi. He has so many companies, so many logos, so many taglines, and so many things, and he has put them all into a group of companies. So when he employs somebody, he puts you under Company X, sitting in Ajman, working for targets in Abu Dhabi. Okay? So now, where do you actually belong? And because you signed one company and you're getting paid from another company, and then here's another game that they play. They have different signatories in different companies. They have different people's name in, the trade license. So who do you catch? Do you catch the person on the trade license who is not in town, who is maybe doesn't speak English, maybe he speaks Arabic? Or do you catch the guy who is signed in the different signatories? Do you catch the person which company? They make it so mumbo jumbo, jumbled up because they play with the loopholes in the system. You'll end up nowhere. So be careful when you're dealing with a group of companies. Okay, it's all frills. Don't fall for it. Next one is, like I told you, different signatories. You'll have Ramu, Richard, Rembrandt, Raghava, different signatories for different documents. And sometimes they'll just put authorized signatory and something will be scribbled there. Maybe they send the document to India. Do you catch a guy from India? Do you catch this local Arab guy? Do you catch who do you? Different signatories spells big red flag. Okay, then you have free zone companies. Free zone companies, you can just open up a company with no staff, zero staff, just register it in your name, and then print out a business card and say CEO, managing director. You can have a big name like Maximilian International. Most of the companies in Ras Al Khaimah is only one guy with a big fancy title and just a desk and phone. When they come for checking, they'll have some dummy guys there and then nobody's there. Don't fall for these free zone companies. Go check it out with your own eyes. Go there. Go as a spy. Go send someone else. Ask some of your friends who are working there to check. Mostly, nobody's there. These are all dummy companies. Why? Because the government just wants money. They don't care what you do. So that is why don't fall for big business. You can print a business card with CEO. Nobody fucking... You can go to an exhibition hall and show CEO. People will believe that. You can have a telephone rerouted to you, So you'll think you're calling Dubai. Maybe the office is at home in Sharjah, in a small flat. So remember, people play all these games. Point number 15. Oh, this one is practiced by everyone. They'll give you 110 excuses to delay your salary. Oh, market is very bad. Oh, this company didn't give the salary on time. Oh, the MD is not in town. They can even play games with you. Your customer, get that payment first and then we'll pay your salary. They'll give you 1 million excuses for not giving your salary on time, but you have to achieve their target on time. So if you don't achieve the target, they will penalize you. But if you don't bring in the targets, no, if they don't maintain what they promised, you have to understand, oh, come on, we'll delay it by 1 month. I know of a company, not joking, they have not paid salaries for 2 years. 2 years, and they just make the staff work because they keep giving bullshit. And people are scared because the guy is powerful, very powerful. So what do? You take the guy to court. So please keep in mind, not giving salary on time is a red flag. If they delay the salary, find out through somebody, better not work for it. 16 is the trump card that they always play. The local. I am local. Local. If they bring in the trump card, a guy who speaks in Arabic and Kandura, most of the people start, they get scared because he's local. So please be careful of that. When they introduce that trump card, chances are you can't do anything. Why? Because local, it's his country. And if you're in Saudi, you're fucked. You're in Kuwait, you're finished. If you're all these countries, they support the local. Local is powerful. It's their country, their citizen. So please be careful of that when they introduce the trump card. Maybe they'll not do it first, but maybe they'll eventually do it. And last, if not the least, be careful of private companies, and especially companies where they have a local who says he works in immigration, he works in the government, he works in the CID, he works in DIG, he works in STD or whatever. Most of the time, these guys who are working in these departments, sometimes they just work there as a small-time employee, but they like to twist your arm and put the fear. But in some cases, if they work in powerful positions, you can't do anything. I'll tell you this. Like, keep in mind, like the holy books say, the more powerful the guy is, the more dangerous it is, because he can kill you and not literally kill you, but he can destroy you. So if you have someone who's working as a director for immigration, I mean, what can you do? I've had cases where a Filipina, she was molested. Okay, she was molested. The guy just keeps, sexual, giving advances. She asked me, well, what do I do? I told her, I can't help you with that. I mean, what can I tell you? Her passport was with that guy. If she goes to court, he will tell a couple of powerful people she is misbehaving. I have evidence. I have proof. I have people in my company say she dresses up like a prostitute. What can you do? So the thing is, the more powerful the guy, and this can be applicable to any country, the more powerful the guy is, the more you're gone. And in a country where they support their citizens and you're just a second-class expat, they don't follow the global kind of human rights, you can't do anything. So these are the 17 points you need to keep in mind. I'm saying this not out of hatred for anyone or trying to put the country down. It's more like a public announcement. If you get a multinational giant and, everything is perfect, great, thumbs up. You get a private company or a good guy, thumbs up. Keep this in mind. They're not your friends. This is business. They're only looking for their benefit. You need to look for yours. So I hope these points give you some value. I hope that this video helps you in some way. Share the video with others who are looking out for jobs. And you have any questions, my contact details are put down below. Let me know what you think. Like the video, thumbs up. Don't like it, thumbs down. This is Lloyd from Machedo.com. Who's Lloyd Machedo? Think personal branding. Signing off for now. Got any questions? Remember, ask Lloyd Machedo. Take care.